Should you play this new game, Wonders of the First in 2026? Is it a gimmick? Are these actors the real deal that are showing up on these cards? Let's talk about it. Howdy, American Texan here, and I love trading cards, specifically the game Wonders of the First, and in this video, I want to give you the breakdown on should you try Wonders of the First in 2026, and I know that I love this game, and you may be asking yourself, well, this dude loves the game, he's obviously going to recommend it. I'm actually, for every point that I make, I'm going to give you the reason you should not try Wonders of the First. I believe that everyone should enjoy a hobby. I'm not here to convince you to enjoy mine. You do you, I'll do me. Enjoy what you like, and I'll enjoy what I like. And if you're not 100% clear on what Wonders of the First is, this is a new game that came out in 2025 by previous Magic lead designer Brian Tinsman. This is a new trading card game or collectible card game where you play on a mat with 7 realms and essentially 7 rounds. The way I describe it is it's like baseball. In Magic, you can really get ahead and end the game in 2 or 3 turns. But like baseball, where you play a full 9 innings, you're going to do the same in Wonders. You have 7 realms and you battle for stones across 7 realms. So even if you're being absolutely trounced in the first 2 or 3 rounds, when the next realms open up and you get more cards, you might get your key card, you can totally turn it around. Not only that, there's no running the board. Unlike Magic, where you take all your turns and then I take all my turns, it's a back and forth game. It's turn-based. So you're never out of it, and there's never anyone just absolutely running the game. In each round, you battle for stones, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most stones wins. If for some reason you tie, whoever has the lowest realm stone wins. So that adds a little bit of extra strategy because you always want to have that realm 1 stone, unless you are absolutely sure you can take 4 or more. And how do you capture stones? Well, like any other card game, you play wonders. These are the creatures of the game, essentially, and there are wonders across 6 orbitals. You've got Boundless, which is like the world between worlds. You have a lot of angels and that almost white archetype, although there's no health specifically in this game, but it is that archetype. Then you've got Heliosynth. This is like your cyberpunk desert type feel. And then Patria, this is your nature, lots of big creatures and that natural woodsy theme. Then you've got Thalwyn. This is the sea and air. Lots of pirates, water-based creatures, as well as lots of flyers. Of course, you've got Umbrathine. This is your undead type theme. You've got vampires, zombies. And then Sulfera. This is not quite like Magic's Red, where you're just going fire and lots of damage. Sulfera is all about big creatures and greed, giving you more bonuses the more stones that you have. And there are lots more videos that you can find. I'll link a few down below, not just from the Wonders team, but also from other content creators. Look, this is a fantastic game. And if you're into the theming, if you're into the gameplay, as well as if you're into collecting, this is a fantastic game. Because another thing that Wonders is doing uniquely is that the collectible cards are the same as the playing cards. So if you just want to be a player, you can go buy the cheap $5 play packs and build a killer deck. But if you want to collect, there are serialized or numbered versions of those cards that are very rare, as well as formless foils that have no border, which are like the borderless cards, and the serialized cards, 1-of-1s. And unlike other games, there can be some competition with collecting because every year they're doing a luxury Dragon Cup where you can only play with those fancy collectible cards. And yes, you can proxy, so you don't have to put your $1,000 card on the board. Last year, the luxury tournament was a $100,000 cash prize, which was insane. But when your deck costs $10,000, yeah, that's pretty good. So that was another great thing to see. It was a lot of collectors were matching with players to play with their cards to win that big prize pool. It was a lot like NASCAR, where you have a sponsorship team partnering with fantastic world-class drivers to create an unstoppable force. And last year's world champion of the Dragon Cup was Honest AF, a formidable Magic player, and I'm excited to have him also in our game. So that's a little bit about the game Wonders of the First, but should you play it? Let's get into 5 reasons why I think you should at least try it. Number 1, like I previously mentioned, you play a full game every time. The game is played over 7 rounds. Now, how do you make sure that you play every 7 rounds? Well, each player gets 3 actions per round. So you're guaranteed at least 21 actions for the whole game. And of course, there's ways to manipulate that. There's a lot of ways to gain actions, just a few ways to lose actions or make your opponents lose actions. But most of the time, you're going to play a 21 action game, and you don't always have to use those actions every round. While you do lose your actions, it all goes away at the end of the round when the next realm opens up. There is a way you can bank towards the future, which is the lands. The lands in the game don't give you energy. You get a set amount of energy every round. But if you play a land, basically you're spending an action to put that land on the board, and later on you can tap that land to get that action back. Additionally, some lands give you extra bonuses or abilities when you tap that land. So you're not just banking that action, you're banking that action for later, plus getting a little spell bonus if you want to look at it that way. And you're always going back and forth. So you're never running the board. If you play a big monster, I have a chance to do something about it before you can do something with it. So I can answer by taking it off the board, by nullifying it, which is basically removing all of its abilities, or playing my own bigger monster to defend from you taking the stone in that realm. It's this back and forth that makes the game really enjoyable because your enemy always gets a vote. You're never just running the board. Unlike Magic, with the back and forth, it's a lot like chess or checkers or any turn-based game where you're just going back and forth, taking turns and just trying to mitigate the risk of what your opponent can do. But that said, if you're the controlling type of person and you like to make big moves and do big things and really kind of take control of the game, you may not like this because it's very hard to take control of this game. Additionally, these games can go between 30 to 45 minutes, but towards the end, when you've got a lot of actions banked and you're spending 7, 8, 10 actions in the last realm, that last realm can take a while, and so games can go up to an hour. So if you do like quick games, you want to just bring out the deck and just start playing, you're very rarely going to get less than a 30-minute game out of Wonders. That's the trade-off for being able to play a full game every game. But if you like to sit down and enjoy the game and enjoy a full game every time, then definitely try Wonders in 2026. Reason number 2 to try Wonders of the First in 2026 is if you want to buy trading cards or trade for trading cards and you want them to be useful and usable forever. Wonders of the First is doing something unique in which they are doing no reprints and no bans. That means any card you buy now is going to be just as useful and playable 10 years from now. There's no rotating cards out and there's no banning cards. You may be asking yourself, how do they deal with this? And that answer is with the deck balancing score. What that is essentially every card is assigned a point value. For example, at the time of this recording, Pastel Bloomdrake is a 3-point card. So when I put him in my deck, that makes my deck worth 3 points. You add this all up and that is your deck balance score. For most competitions, your deck value needs to be under 1,000 points. Which means if you're going to run some of the most super powerful cards like Omnis Quantum, which basically means your opponent can't play half their cards, you're going to spend 100 points of deck balancing score potential on that one card. So the more beefy, powerful cards, you have to balance it with lower point value cards. This means we have a pretty diverse meta because some of the most powerful cards are being used and people are finding low DBS cards to go along with it. And others are just not wasting their energy trying to plan decks around those powerful cards. They're building decks with more of the middle ground 20-point cards. It's made the meta very diverse, very interesting. And while there are a few key standouts, some other folks are using lower DBS, what we call sleeper cards, to win games against those most powerful cards. And throughout the year, if the team notices some cards are being overused or underutilized, maybe there's just an insane combo they want to kind of quell, then the DBS on those cards goes up. So you can still use them, but you have to balance it by making your other cards in your deck less points. It's a very unique system that adds a lot of fun and potential. Now, there is a type of person that may not appeal to, and that's if you got to have every card. Look, the longer you wait into this game, the harder it is going to be to get those older cards because, again, there are no reprints. So all the cards that have been printed for existence in which there's a 2-year print window, which means once that closes, they're not printing existence cards anymore. That's the first set. You're going to have to go and find the cards that are already, in existence. So if you have to have every card, that's going to be tough. The good thing is that all the current cards are going to be just as competitive as the older cards. And those super powerful older cards, as new cards come out that make them even more powerful, guess what? The DBS score on those should go up. But if you have those cards, you can absolutely still use them. And of course, they'll still be valuable to other players as well. If you decide that you don't want to use this card at all, people will still want them. There will still be a demand for those cards. So you still have lots of potential trade value or sell value in those cards. So if you like the idea of buying a card and being able to use it forever, this might be the game to try in 2026. Reason number 3 to try Wonders of the First in 2026 is if you like collecting. There are special editions of every card, and not just regular foil cards. We have formless foil cards, which are the borderless cards that the art goes all the way to the edge. And then you've got serialized cards called OCMs. That's where the foiling of the card, the outer edge, the border of it matches the color of the orbital. So Farah cards are red, Petraea cards are green, Umbrathine cards are that purple color, Boundless cards are gray, Heliosynth cards are that gold color, and Thalwyn cards are that blue color on the edge. And those are orbital color matches, and there's only so many of them. So if you want to collect a special edition of that, if there's a common, like for example, a Moonfire Crystal Mouse, well, there's only 99 of those OCMs. And if it's a mythic rarity, which are the rarest of rare, well, there's only 10 of them. And then there's the top of the top, which is the stone foil, the one of one. This is the only one in existence. These cards are the exact same playability as their paper counterparts, which means you don't need to chase these high rarity cards if you're a player, just play with the paper version. But if you want to have something special, a museum piece of your own, then the stone foil is where it's at. Wonders of the First has built something unique in having cards and packs for players and collectors, as well as everything in between. I'm personally in between. So players don't have to worry about competing with the card inventory with collectors, because collectors are chasing a lot of cards that players aren't, and the same, players are chasing a lot of cards that collectors aren't. It makes for a very fun dynamic. Now that said, I have a hard time coming up with a reason why this would be a bad thing. I mean, if you want to play a game, play the game with the cheap packs. And if you want to collect and have some rare cards and have your own collection, well, go for those collector packs. The only thing is if you just want to have everything. There are some collectors that are disappointed because they buy play packs and they don't have any collector cards in there. And they say this is a waste of money. To which I say, don't buy play packs. Like, I guess if you feel like you have to buy everything, every version of every box and pack and card, then I guess maybe this isn't for you. But if you like the idea of players being able to play without collectors getting in the way, or collectors being able to collect without players getting in the way, then this might be a game to try in 2026. Reason number 5 to try Wonders of the First in 2026 is they are trying something new. They are cutting edge here with celebrities on cards. This is not the game taking popular IP like Magic using SpongeBob or Spider-Man cards, but this is actually the Wonders of the First team hiring actors to portray characters on their cards. You've got Tom Felton portraying Valen Voss, Chuck Liddell portraying this Sulfera wonder that I'm not even going to try to pronounce anymore. My personal favorite coming up, Ben Affleck playing Ronan Silvershot, and Arnold Vosloo playing a card that we're not quite sure yet, but it's got that undead. He's not a mummy, but it's got that undead kind of feel. This is very unique and I think more exciting for collectors, but it's a lot of fun to try to chase your favorite actor. I know me personally, I am so excited that Ben Affleck is going to be on here. I'm more excited about him than Tom Felton. But for collectors, this is especially exciting because they will have on-card autographs from these celebrities, which means these celebrities portray a character that's on a card, and then they personally sign that card on the card, not a sticker, on the card. So that's something extra fun for collectors, but also as a player, it's going to be very exciting to have some of these actors on cards. And the team has come out and said that they will be in mini sets. This isn't the only set they're doing this for. And of course, I know there's some people that this is not for. They want their fantasy games to be fantasy. They don't want actors in there. And treating a trading card game like a movie where you're hiring actors to portray fantasy characters may not be appealing. And I totally get that. And if that's you, then hey, I totally get it. No problem. But if the idea of collecting cards of some of your favorite actors or some actors you enjoy appeal to you, then this might be a game to try in 2026. An honorable mention of why you should try Wonders of 2026, and this is an honorable mention because it really is kind of a niche thing, but if you're like me and you like getting in on young ventures, you like buying the first edition of any new game, you like reading a comic book or manga starting at number 1, or you like supporting new businesses, you like to be with them and supporting them and patroning them on the come up, then this might be a game for you to try. There are a lot of trading card games like Magic and Pokemon and even now Flesh and Blood that have been around for a while. And so to get in, there's a lot of ladder to climb. But Wonders of the First is a young game. At the time of this recording, it's barely a year old. And so you get to get in on the ground floor, learn the cards, be a part of the first set, and grow with the game. Grow as a player and a collector with the game. And if that's not you, you like to come into an established machine, the gears are well oiled and they've been around for a while and have a name to themselves, then by all means, go join one of the other games. But if you like being a part of something new, this is something to try in 2026. Reason number 5, and the final reason I think you might like to try Wonders of the First in 2026, and that is community. Being a young game, the community of Wonders of the First is very passionate about the game and wants to see the game succeed and grow. With that, we've developed a fantastic community where while we are out for blood at the table, outside of the table, we really enjoy to take care of each other, support each other, and help each other be better players. There is no sabotaging here, and when there might be sabotage or funny play, we are sure to correct our people and make sure that everyone is succeeding in enjoying the game. There are many examples of the community taking care of each other. For example, one player at the World Championship had his deck stolen or missing or just misplaced, who knows, in the middle of the World Championship Swiss rounds. As soon as we all found out, we all pulled together cards that were in his deck, and we helped, literally in between games, reassemble his deck using cards borrowed from other players. We had a community member go through some medical issues and had to sell some of his product, and we all made sure that we helped support and boost him up by doing a charity stream to raise money for his medical bills. And on a player side, this community really has garnered a style of culture of we want to play you at your best, so when we win, we beat you at your best. And if you beat us at our best. And so many of the members of the community will freely share our best decks, our best ideas. We're going to ask questions and bounce ideas to find new combos or hidden uses for cards that maybe others don't know about. If you ask a question, you will always get the best answer. Because again, we want this game to grow. We want this game to succeed. We want you to enjoy the hobby. We want you to enjoy your cards that you've chased to collect. And the best way to do that is just to be a great member of the hobby. That said, it is a trading card game. So, if you like to just buy cards and net deck and do whatever you want, then the community is not really worth much to you. And so that may not be a selling point, and I totally understand. But if having a good group of people that you can rely on, and you like waking up in the morning and looking at Discord to see what everyone else is saying, then this might be a game to try in 2026. So there you have it. I'd be interested to know, are you going to try Wonders of the First in 2026? You can get 2-player starter packs in a few places, Star City Games or at your local Target. I'll have a video down below where you can see exactly what's inside the 2-player starter packs. That comes with 2 decks that are very playable, very easy to maneuver, and give you an idea of the Sulfera and Thalwind orbitals, as well as 2 collector packs, so you can see what to expect inside of a collector pack, which can have those serialized rare cards, as well as some very playable cards. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more about Wonders of the First or trading card tips in general, and I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.